Tonight we're going to give you a presentation. Gerald Hartley is going to do.
We started as an alliance of town, well, mainly parish councils in the beginning, but towns have come on board since. A lot of individuals and very few organisations. We're very definitely a non-party political, issue-specific. That's the objective, to oppose mass burn incineration and to try and gain more and more support for more acceptable methods which minimise waste and minimise environmental harm in the county as well. The Labour Liberal Democrat administration at the County Council, which lost power in 2005, was actually engaged in a project to look at mechanical biological treatment, believe it or not. When the Conservatives took power in 2005, they reconsidered that and decided to kick the project into touch. So in 2006, they began the residual waste project all over again, driven of course by the fact that the government had a commitment to more and more landfill taxes, and the landfill taxes were being pushed by the European Union because compostable waste creates methane, damages the environment, etc., etc. So there was a positive reason for landfill taxes and to try and drive people into alternative solutions. So why did the county go the direction it went? Well, for some people this is still a very big question. None of us really know the answer to that. But in 2008 they made the big step of purchasing Javelin Park down by junction 12 of the M5 at a cost of 7.4 million, that's our cost. They began a technology neutral procurement process, that's what they called it. When they had to get PFI funding, as they thought at the time, the appropriate government department said you must have a reference project in order to get this money approved. So their reference project said it would be at Javelin Park, that was the site declaration, and the technology will be mass burn incineration. So ever since then they've been saying, oh, that was just to get the PFI money. It wasn't really a commitment. 2011, with a new government in place, the PFI funding gets withdrawn. It's quite clearly on the record that the reason it was withdrawn was because the government recognised, told it, that the UK had enough alternative processes in place or scheduled or planning permission granted for that they would well qualify to cut down the amount of compostable waste that was going into landfill. So the government said, we don't need to fund any more projects from a nationwide point of view. You might think that would have given a real pause for thought for Gloucestershire County Council as to why they wanted to go on with their project, and they did indeed conduct what they said was a strategic review. But in a very short space of time they said, never mind the money, we're going on it anyway. And they did. Later in 2011 they reduced their number of bidders down to 2, and both of them were offering mass burn incineration. The others offering MBT were rejected. And then later they cut it right down to 1, and that was Hervé Subal for BT. Come up to date to 2012, they agreed to award the contract, and we then discovered we don't know the exact sum of money that is because it's commercially confidential. From other contracts is that it would be likely to be in the 15 to 20 million pound region, and that's a penalty that Gloucestershire will pay if they now don't get planning permission. And apparently it's quite standard, and DEFRA recommend it for all sorts of financial reasons that are beyond most ordinary people. So to the future, the County Council still has to get planning permission, which it will give itself, because it's the Waste Planning Authority as well as the Waste Disposal Authority. Sounds odd, I know, but that's how it is all over the country. That's the way the system works. When they begin building, or plan to build in 2014, it will be finished in 2016. So, right, everyone in Gloucestershire is going to be affected by this.